What's up, guys? Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, I'm going to talk about the world issues and all. So yeah, and we are just gonna hang out. Okay, cool. Okay. I was waiting for you to join in, but let's talk about the real issues that is happening around the world. you know, the Russians, the Russia is fighting Ukraine, the Russian-Ukraine war, then there is the Israel-Hamas war. So I have seen that many people like try to justify Hamas, justify what Hamas is doing to Israel. He said all people, Hamas is liberty and this is Palestinian evolution and all. But that is not true.
Folks, issues are rarely black and white, but there are some that are. And it turns out that one of the issues that is black and white is when a terrorist group invades a sovereign country and goes to civilian villages and starts killing babies and burning entire families and raping women and dragging them back into their hellholes and continuing to rape them and holding them hostage for the cameras. It turns out that that's pretty damned black and white. There are a lot of people who you're seeing today trying to contextualize Hamas's activities in the Gaza Strip. There is no context. Is there anything that anyone could do to make you do these sorts of things? Would you, for any reason at all, go and kill a baby? Would you? I have a hard time believing that you would. You know why? Because you don't think like Hamas thinks. Hamas thinks differently. They say it openly. They've been saying openly for decades that they love death more than you love life. That this is literally the stuff that they say. They've been saying since their inception, they want to kill every Jew on the planet, not just in Israel, but on the planet. That they are not looking for any sort of territorial solution. In fact, people should know the Gaza Strip was abandoned by Israel in 2005. Thousands of Jews were removed from their homes in the northern part of the Gaza Strip. Their houses were abandoned, their greenhouses were abandoned and turned over to the Palestinians, who promptly burned all of it and elected Hamas. Ever since then, year after year, Hamas has been using the Gaza Strip as a base for terror activities. Material that has been shipped into the Gaza Strip for humanitarian purposes has been repurposed by Hamas for military means. Cement shipped in for buildings has been used to build terror tunnels. Pipes shipped in to build sewage systems has been repurposed to make rocket tubes. This is what Hamas is. This is what Hamas does. And it is evil. It is evil. And anybody who attempts to contextualize or justify this is making an ass of themselves. And the history just doesn't support any of the quote-unquote decolonization narrative that you are currently hearing. The areas that were attacked here have been part of Israel since 1947, since inception. The Gaza Strip has been in the control of Palestinians entirely since 2005. There is no context that can be provided for the burning of families and the rape of women and the parading of them through the streets. What context? If there is a lack of moral clarity here, it is because of one of two things. One, ignorance and narcissism. You believe that Hamas thinks like you think, and therefore you believe that no one would do anything like this unless some terrible wrong had befallen them. Except you're not using your head, because here's the reality. You wouldn't do this even if a terrible wrong befell you. Or possibility number two, you just don't care. You don't care because it's Jews involved. Jew hatred would be the other possibility, and there's a lot of that going around. The left is replete with it these days. You're seeing statements from Students for Justice in Palestine in the United States calling for solidarity with the people who just murdered 1,200 Jews in the worst single event for Jews since the Holocaust. You are seeing unions of workers who are coming out in favor of Hamas. You're seeing crowds in Sydney, Australia, chanting "Gas the Jews." You're watching crowds in London chanting on behalf of Hamas. You're seeing crowds in Dearborn, Michigan, chanting on behalf of Hamas. You're seeing sitting Congress people refusing to condemn the murderous Hamas activities when asked multiple times to do so. That is what you're watching. That is, if you lack moral clarity about that, that is not because you are sophisticated. It is not because you see shades of gray. It's not because you're so complex. It's because you're a fool. Again, there are certain times in life when there is a right and there is a wrong, and this is that time. Now, Israeli society is coming together in ways that it has not come together probably in Israel's history. Israeli society is incredibly resilient. They've been under terror assault literally since the day that the state of Israel was born and long before. There have been riots against Jews in Israel for as long as there's been a Zionist movement in Israel and long before that. With that said, does Israel require moral support? Of course. Of course Israel requires moral support. Israel is facing down not only a military threat on its southern border, but also a military threat on its northern border. Iran is threatening action. Syria is threatening action. The American people, we ought to at the very least say that Israel is in the right. rearm Israel in order so that Israel can kill terrorists, who, by the way, hate Americans just as much as they hate Jews. Preventing a broader regional war from breaking out is in America's interest. It is. And so, again, for all the folks on the left who openly sympathize with Hamas, and for some of the folks on the right who are playing a peculiarly morally ambiguous game, where it's too hard to know what's going on. No, it isn't. You're either an anti-Semite or you're a useful idiot. Those are the choices that are before you. So maybe you ought to wake up and smell the coffee as to what these evil human beings are actually attempting to do.
The world and the Palestinians says that this is on decolonization, or that Jews came and pushed the Palestinians out of their indigenous land. No, that is not true. That is not even true. Even look at history. Palestinians are not indigenous to Israel. They are Arab. When you look up their DNA, they are probably Arab. These Arabs who pushed the Jews out of Israel. When you look at Israel, the Roman Empire expelled several Jews from Israel, and there were only few Jews remaining in their native land, that is Israel. Okay. There's no justification for Hamas. No, there's no justification for Palestinian war, because Palestine is a fake country. It is like it's anti-Semitic ideology. Okay, there's no justification there. It is just a purely evil thing. Okay. Jews had their nation before any Palestinian nationalism. Okay. People said, oh, there is no Jewish nation, there was no Jewish kingdom, or there's no Jewish right to this land. Let me show you the evidence. Let me introduce you to the Manhattan Stele. It is considered as the first astronomical reference to the ancient Israel in ancient history. It is considered to be authentic and providing historical information. This proves that Israel has the right to the land. guys think that Israel has no right to the land? Look at the desires named into 3 different lines and machine still done monitors, but it's after because of all the characters established by not a nomadic which is entered the land of Canaan. Wow. Really? The Palestinians think that there's no right to Jews are no right to Israel, no right to Canaan. It's really stupid and understandable. Okay? Wow. Wow. That's crazy. Malicious. Wow, look at this. Alright, wow. Wow. Another state proves that Israel had a kingdom. Israelites, Jews had a kingdom, and they had the right to the nation. They were not colonizers. They had the right to this kingdom. Wow. Really? Y'all think that Simon right? Look at this evidence. Oh my gosh, I then decided to go soon. Oh my god.